Well, hello, my fabulous friends. I hope you're doing well. Well, here in Canada is Victoria Long Weekend, and it's originally started to celebrate the birthday of Queen Victoria, which is May 24th. And we call it May Long or May 24. And it's the third Monday of every month, of every May is the May long weekend. So, we of course have to sit around a campfire and drink a beer and say happy birthday and sing happy birthday to Queen Victoria. Anyways, that'll be interesting to see if that continues on with all the new Canadians. So Queen Victoria is one of the most iconic monarchs in British history, and she ruled from 1837 to 1901. So she was the queen that was ruling when Canada became the Dominion of Canada in 1867. Now, it was a time of immense social, political, and imperial change. Though her reign symbolized strict morals and propriety, behind the Black Widow's veil were secrets, scandals, and mysteries that history books often gloss over. We're going to get into the gossip about Queen Victoria. Here are some of the most shocking and intriguing secrets surrounding Queen Victoria. So what I did is I got the most shocking secrets regarding her, and we're going to ask the gossip cards if it's true or not. Gossip cards will tell us for sure. Now, some of you have been around here for a while. I have read cards that I believe Diana was Queen Victoria reincarnated. And the cards confirmed that. So that's why I won't do an auto writing with Queen Victoria. She's already been back, and she came back as Diana. And when you think about it, she had another life of not being loved. Or looking for love. All right, so let's get to the first one. Her obsession with death. After Prince Albert died in 1861, Queen Victoria wore black for the rest of her life, 40 years of mourning. But few know how deep her obsession with death went. She kept Albert's rooms exactly as they were, complete with his shaving water delivered daily. She reportedly had his clothes laid out each morning, and Victoria consulted mediums and clairvoyants, including John Brown, to stay connected to Albert in spirit. Let's ask the gossip cards. What can you tell us about that, gossip cards? Constancy, yes, she did. She absolutely did. So that absolutely. Widow, oh my God, these cards are bang on. Hope, falseness. We're going to get to some of her falseness right away. Malady, yeah, she was depressed rest of her life. I'm thinking that the hope was that she would have some connection with him through being obsessed with the death part of it and keeping him alive by keeping his room the same, laying out his clothes. She somehow kept him alive. But look how hot these cards are right away. We got right into the spirituality and the widow and the hope. Yes, there was some falseness about her, and that will be the next question. But yeah, she basically was depressed the rest of her life. All right, so I gave you a hint of what the next one was, and it's the John Brown affair. After Albert's death, her relationship with her Scottish servant, John Brown, raised many royal eyebrows. She gave him unprecedented access and authority. Rumors swirled that they were secretly married, although there's no proof. She was mockingly nicknamed Mrs. Brown by the public and even within palace circles. So let's see how true is that. What can the gossip cards tell us about that? Fortune. She felt fortunate that she could have him. Sweetheart, yes. They were definitely boyfriend, girlfriend. Let me pull this in a little bit. And Yeah, you can see them a bit better. Falseness again. So she kept it hidden. She kept it secret. Widower. Widower. I don't know if he was a widower or not. Unexpected joy. Yeah, you know what? Um, you know what I'm reading from this widower card? He could never tell anybody, right? So, in some sense, he had to live his life as if he was a bachelor or never married, um, or not with anybody. And I'm getting a sense that she was the widow and he was the widower, making them a couple, but she was definitely the sweetheart. And she felt fortunate that she had him and had unexpected joy with him. We didn't get the marriage card though. So with that saying, they were not secretly married. They were definitely a couple though. Definitely a couple. And they had joy in that, but he I think there was something there that he felt bad. He couldn't go out in public or say, I'm the queen's consort, or there was something there. I'm feeling like he felt less than. So this one I've never heard. So I was surprised to find this one. A secret love child theory. A controversial theory suggests that Queen Victoria may have given birth to a secret, illegitimate child before becoming queen. Some claim she was seduced while in her teens, possibly by a tutor or a nobleman. Although no records prove it, conspiracy theories tie to this mysterious disappearance from court records in the 1830s. So apparently, there's a lot of court records in the 1830s that are hidden, and this may be why her mother was so obsessed with her as well. Maybe to make sure that she was a virgin as she becomes queen, or whatever it was. But let's ask the cards. Did she have a secret love child in her teens? Did she have a secret love child? Like, why else would there be so many missing records in the 1830s? Unexpected joy. Oh, there's the visitor. There's the visit. Letter. There's the information. Widower. Malady. There is a child card in here. I'm going to say this is false. Something's telling me this is false. She may have, I'm going to say maybe perhaps a nobleman bedded her. Here she is in bed. I'm going to say that perhaps she was perhaps not a virgin when she ascended to the throne. I'm thinking it could be perhaps a tutor, because we have the letter here. I'm getting it's somebody who came to visit to the house, so that would be a tutor. Could be a nobleman as well, maybe an older gentleman. I don't know if this was forced upon her or not. That's what I'm kind of, I don't think she was happy that it happened. Let's put it that way. Yeah, I think this is somebody who came to the house. Maybe it was an older gentleman, maybe a nobleman, but she didn't get pregnant. No, she didn't have a child. We didn't see the child card. Okay, she may have carried the royal disease. Victoria was a carrier of hemophilia, a rare blood clotting disorder that she passed on to her descendants. I just want to clear the cards a little bit here. She had no known family history of the disease, leading some to speculate about infidelity in the royal line. Her son Leopold died from it, and the condition spread through European royalty, earning it the name the royal disease. So she was a carrier of hemophilia, but she did not have hemophilia. She had no known family history of the disease, leading some to speculate about infidelity in the royal line. So let's ask that. Where did hemophilia come from? It's suspected she was the carrier, but if there was no known cases in the family line. Does that mean there's somebody in the family line that shouldn't be there? What can you tell us about this? Gossip cards. Okay. Gift that keeps on giving. Misfortune. Ooh. Clock ring. Loss. Uh-oh. Desire and thief. Okay, I'm going to say, yeah, I'm going to say that again, I'm getting that I'm going to say an unwanted pregnancy. Well, it's funny, I said the gift that keeps on giving, and it was a misfortune and a loss. So I'm wondering if somewhere along the line, one of the royals or one of the royal ladies or one of the royal girls was an offering for a loss and almost was taken somehow. What's the underlying here? Sadness. Yeah. I think one of the females was given as a prize, let's say. So this is the gift. I'm almost getting like this is red, the gift that keeps on giving, and the misfortune. I'm going to say, yeah, there is infidelity. I mean, come on. I'm saying, yeah, there's somebody in the line of succession that should not be there, or baby that should not be there, or some such thing. Yes. So that's that. I'm going to say, yes, she had it, and there was infidelity in the royal line. So is it her mother or her father? Interesting. So yeah, there was infidelity. She got it from somebody else up the royal line. She had a fiery temper and a sharp tongue. Far from the demure grandmother figure portrayed in portraits, Queen Victoria had a sharp temper and could be brutally direct. She described newborns as frog-like, and she once said that she had no interest in women's rights, stating, "Let women be what God intended, a helpmate for man, but with totally different duties and vocations." So she doesn't sound like she was, you know what? That's that Gemini sharp tongue, right? They are quite witty, and they think they're being direct, but that's that sharp Gemini tongue. The sword. All right, let's see. Did she have a fiery temper and a sharp tongue? I've heard newborns called a lot of names, but not frog-like. Unexpected joy. She may have had some kind of joy in being witty. Judge. Gift. Misfortune. Constancy. Yeah, you know what? I actually think that she enjoyed being witty. I think she enjoyed her sharp tongue. Like, she would judge people here, and she would let them know. And sometimes this is her temper. This is red hot temper. This is right here, her temper. So the cards are saying yes. But the thing is she secretly got a joy out of it. And she was consistent with it her whole life, meaning that, she didn't dampen her temper at all or she didn't damper her sharp tongue. It's not like, oh, that's nice, she's having a good day. No, that's true. That's true. And I think she actually really enjoyed putting people down and telling them off, or having a hot temper. and people tippy-toeing around her, never knowing when she's going to blast off. All right. She had an Indian servant who became her closest confidant. In her later years, Queen Victoria formed an intense bond with her Indian servant, Abdul Karim, also known as the Munshi. He taught her Urdu and introduced her to Indian culture and cuisine. And we have to remember, she was the Empress of India. So it was probably wise for her to know that. Court members were furious at his rising influence, calling it a scandal. After her death, Abdul was erased from royal records and deported. So back to India you go. So let's see, what was the scandal all about? I mean, if he was just there to teach her the ways and means of India, which she was empress of, which the Great Britain owned, I guess you could say, India, colonized it at that point. So why was that a scandal that she had this close? Maybe there was more to it. Maybe there was more to it. Maybe there was more to it. Let's ask the gossip card. So what was all about this? Why would everybody think he's a scandal? Journey, there he is. So he came to her. Letter. Falseness. Oh, maybe they thought he had ulterior motives. Ecclesiastic officer. Well, I'm wondering if he taught her, he kind of pulled her away from the church. Just no different than Charles is right now with his Islam, right? So probably I think that was the scandal, that the authority that he had, that he came from far away. And I'm getting that a lot of them didn't trust him, that there was a sense of falseness that perhaps she didn't see. And I'm wondering if it pulled her away from the Church of England. It has something to do with the church and his official duties with her. Maybe they just didn't like him because he was a foreigner. There's something about him they didn't like, but he pulled her away from the church. So maybe he was teaching her, Hindu ways or, different spirituality or whatever. And that's what the big scandal was. God, can you imagine if those people lived today? So yeah, there was something about him that wasn't quite, and they didn't like how much authority that he had. Interesting, they erased him from royal records. Holy. So they can do that with Meghan Markle too. Anyways, she drank a lot and loved beef. Despite the stiff image, Victoria enjoyed hearty pleasures. She was known to drink claret, whiskey, and even opium tonics. Claret, whiskey, and even opium tonic. My Oma didn't drink alcohol per se, but I'll tell you, she enjoyed a nice claret once in a while, just a wee bit, and even opium tonics. Her favorite meal was reportedly roast beef with horseradish and potatoes, and she had a robust appetite despite her short stature. She was only 4'11", but a robust appetite. We all have seen pictures of Queen Victoria in her later years, and she had a very robust appetite. So let's see, what do the gossip cards want to tell us about how much she drank and ate? Roast beef is a very classic English dinner, so I don't see what the scandal of that was about. Maybe it was the quantities. Maybe it was the drinking. And opium, I mean, truth be told, back then, there was absinthe, there was opium. That was, no different than them having, a glass of wine today or a glass of gin. All right. Ooh, interesting cut. Letter. Oh, anger. There's that. Oh, I wonder if the scandal was she maybe had a temper when she was drinking. Wow, I think so. I think that was the problem. is she had a bit of a temper. Lover. It almost looks like Albert, doesn't it? Lover and malady. I'm going to say that a lot of her drinking was probably with Mr. John Brown. And I'm getting that her temper and her anger um, was more so when she was drinking. And this malady could be how much she ate. Actually, didn't keep her very healthy, right? With her robust appetite. Also, this could be hangovers, perhaps, you know, the amount of weight she put on affected her love relationship, also her temper and whatnot. So, with this malady, I'm going to say yes, this is true because this could either be a hangover, but it looks like she always drank with other people. And this is when, like, she would invite other people, come, let's have some opium drink or whatever. And it looks like her anger and her temper really came out when she was drinking. Um, and also the amount of food that she ate. She was quite robust in her later years, and so we have to wonder this malady. Like, did she have diabetes or high cholesterol? Or I know she lived a good long life, but that doesn't mean she was healthy while she was living. So that's kind of gossipy, isn't it? She drank a lot and loved beef. Okay, the final one. Number 8. She survived 8 assassination attempts. Victoria was the target of more assassination attempts than any other British monarch. From pistols to disturbed men with canes, she faced it all and kept a stiff upper lip. After one attempt, she simply resumed her carriage ride as if nothing happened. Isn't that interesting that, Anne did the same thing when the attempt was made on her. So let's find out about this. And look at the conspiracy around Diana being assassinated, which the card said she wasn't. It's a terrible accident. So it's interesting that kind of karma and that kind of energy moved over. And look at, she had a robust appetite, and Diana had food issues with her bulimia. Okay, tell us about these assassination attempts. What was going on there? Journey. Oh, there she is in the carriage. We just talked about it. She just carried on in the carriage. So it's almost like when she was out of the palace. Misfortune, letter. Boy, we're sure getting a lot of the same cards. That's interesting. Ooh, death. Yeah, it was definitely sending a message to her. Message and letter. Misfortune. It was sending a message to her. Malady. Maybe they wanted it was definitely, they were trying to kill her, not kidnap her or for money, that kind of thing. They were definitely sending a message to her. And I'm getting that the attempts, that people were paid to do it. So it wasn't out of, duty to the crown. We have to remember that, especially when the next one coming up is, it has to wait till you die. Perhaps part of this malady, maybe there was something that, you're not, I think she was in hiding for 2 years. Nobody saw her for 2 years. So perhaps they're like, we need a real queen, or I don't know, but they definitely wanted her dead. And somebody, they were mostly paid, almost getting from this message. This is the one with the cane, but she had 8 assassination attempts on her. I am thinking that she even got a lot of hate mail She even got a lot of hate mail. Interesting, the death. It was sending a message to her, like, get out of her, let your son, maybe it was one of her son. I know she did not get along with her son at all. At all. And that's the King Edward that had the 100 different lovers. She was very upset with him. He would have been Prince of Wales at the time. And or was he Duke of York? Because no, he was Prince of Wales. I was thinking something else. Um, who knows? Might have been. Let's find out if we can. Who did did the Prince of Wales? Did her son want her out of the way? I know they fought like crazy. I don't even have to say allegedly. You almost wonder if she willed herself to stay alive so he wouldn't become king. I did a reading on him about his 100 lovers, if there's a secret heir. Sadness. Well, she was sad about him, but I don't think it was him. No, it wasn't him. It wasn't him. She was sad. She didn't have a very good relationship with him, and she was very upset about his lifestyle. That's what they mostly fought about. But I'm not getting that he was the one who was after her. I think it was just different people. All right, but they wanted her gone. They were sending a message to her, and paid assassins. Well, there you go. Well, YouTube's going to show you a video you possibly haven't seen. Why don't you click on that? And I'll see you over there. Thanks for watching. Take good care. Bye for now.